We're all human. We can all have our fears in life, and we can fear rejection, we can fear abandonment, we can fear failure, and we can all have our defensive responses to these behaviours. I believe it was Walter Cannon who developed the theory of fight or flight, which was later studied and developed and includes things such as freeze and fawn now. So we can take flight and we can run away from a situation. We can fight, we can defend ourselves and fight back. We can freeze on the spot, or we can fawn and succumb to somebody else's mistreatment of us. We can walk on eggshells around them. So we can all have our fears. When it comes to narcissistic individuals, they use these fears and their fears to exploit and manipulate those around them. So when it comes to narcissistic individuals, they're often very sensitive to criticism. They fear that criticism. They want to be perceived as perfect and flawless by those around them. So any form of criticism, even constructive feedback, they might fly into a rage because it threatens their fragile ego. It threatens their sense of self. So you try and give a narcissistic individual constructive feedback, they're going to turn it into an argument. Who told you that? Who have you been with? Don't you think I already know? They're going to find a way to try and bring you down. Some might just covertly sabotage you later on. So when they suddenly fall silent on you 2 weeks later, they've just remembered that critical remark you gave them. You've no clue as to what you've done wrong, but they've suddenly decided that they're going to ignore you. However, genuine people go all out to avoid criticizing other people. And even when you've got to give that, or feel like you need to give that constructive feedback to help somebody out, you can worry about how to say it, the best place to say it, whether it's worth just not saying anything and then feeling bad for not saying anything and then they make a mistake, and you can overanalyze, and there's nothing wrong with that, as to what to do or how to say something. And if you say something that offends someone, you often recognize that they're now feeling offended, even if you didn't mean it in that way, and apologize to them, feel remorseful, try and make it up to them. With a narcissistic individual, they will lack the empathy to care, so they will happily put other people down to boost their own ego. They will happily devalue you. They will happily make you feel like you're not good enough, make you feel insecure and inadequate. They'll belittle you and criticize you and mock you as much as they can. So then when someone offers you that constructive feedback, you're not quite sure how to take it. You might become defensive. You might fight back. You might run away from the situation, because you've been programmed by a narcissistic individual to go into those defensive mechanisms. Narcissistic individuals fear that abandonment. They need the excessive attention, the adoration, the validation, the praise. They fear that abandonment, which is why they will go all out to isolate their victims from friends and family and hobbies and financial support, why they go all out to coercively control their victims into living life on their terms, so they feel secure that their victim can't abandon them. Yet they will instill the fear of abandonment and rejection within their victim, sort of training their victim up to walk on eggshells and please them, to keep their victims attached to them. So that narcissistic individual will criticize you and claim that no one would ever put up with you, will make you feel unworthy, will make you feel like no one else would put up with you. So you cling on to them, you change yourself time and time again to please them, so that they don't abandon you, and they change you so that you don't abandon them. Narcissistic individuals often fear exposure because they've done some of the most horrific things that they don't take responsibility for. They think that they were just in doing those things. You made them do it. You deserved it. What they fear is other people's judgment of them. They fear that loss of control of other people's opinions of them. It threatens their identity, it threatens the facade, it threatens the belief that they are special. However, they will happily threaten to reveal any form of personal information about you that's nobody else's business, that you've told them in confidence, to blackmail you, to guilt trip you into living life on their terms. Narcissistic individuals often fear that humiliation, public humiliation. Being humiliated isn't nice and isn't pleasant, and if you've been around a narcissistic individual, you will know this. However, with a narcissist, again, they perceive themselves to be perfect, yet they will happily go all out to embarrass and shame and humiliate others so that they can feel superior, so that they can feel in control of the situation. So if you just say something well-meaning that perhaps the other people in the room, the narcissist doesn't want them to know, but it's nothing hurtful, but the narcissist feels humiliated by you, they might suddenly put a very nice act on of all the things they're doing for you or going to take you. So people look poorly upon you and the narcissist gets the sympathetic attention. Or they will go all out to humiliate you in some of the most horrific ways and then claim that you're the one that brought it on yourself. Narcissistic individuals fear being ignored. They're craving that excessive attention and adoration and validation and praise and recognition from those around them. They don't like it when people ignore them. However, with their double standards, they will happily subject their victims to silent treatments. They will happily ghost their victims. They will happily dismiss opinions, mock beliefs. They will go all out to ignore their victim and create that sense of uncertainty and anxiety within their victim. Narcissistic individuals go all out to make their worst fears come true for other people. Narcissistic individuals will use their worst fears against their victims to manipulate and control their victims into living life on the narcissist's terms. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please do add those into the comments for people reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers, and your continued support with the channel is greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I do also have several books out on Amazon: 15 Rules to Deal with Narcissistic People If You Cannot Go No Contact, a Narcissists Handbook, which is the ultimate guide to understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, and how to create boundaries around those who have no respect for your boundaries. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.